So what we're now going to do is, based on our knowledge about the future lifetime random variable Tx and its survival function, its CDF, its PDF, force of mortality, we're going to think about some important demographic indicators or markers. And the first one we want to introduce is the future life expectancy. And as the word already says, we're going to introduce this indicator as the expected value of our future lifetime random variable Tx. So we want to be able to calculate the expected value of a variable Tx. And as a motivation to gain some insights and to get some, as a motivation for these life expectancies, I warmly recommend you to have a look, to watch the following YouTube clip in which Swedish epidemiologist Hans Rösling is discussing the evolution of expected lifetime data as a function of income for various countries around the world, right? So you find the link to this YouTube clip on Canvas, and it is really interesting to take a look at that before diving into the formulas. So here is what we want to do. We want to look at the expected value of Tx. We've got a special symbol for that. That's the one you see over here, where the X refers again to the age of my policyholder, and where the E with this funny circle or bullet is referring to the fact that I want to calculate the expected value of this policyholder of age. Is referring to the fact that I want to calculate the expected value of the future lifetime of this policyholder age X. So how are we going to do that? Well, we will be relying once again on our expressions for survival function, force of mortality, and so on, right? So do remember that we started from this one, the force of mortality for an X plus T-year-old. We wrote it earlier on in this particular way, right? Now I know that for an actuary, will rewrite this survival function as X evaluated in T. We'll denote that with the actuarial symbol TPX. So I can express the same thing using my actuarial notation, right? And as a consequence, I retrieve that my density function, Fx evaluated in T, right? I can see that as my survival function multiplied with my force of mortality. And I can rewrite this product as minus the derivative with respect to T of my TPX, okay? So the connection here between the density function and the force of mortality and the survival function, that's something we did earlier on. And then the next equality follows from the notation over here. So how do I want to use this expression? Well, you know from your probability and statistics course that to calculate the expected value of a positive continuous random variable, you can start as follows. You're going to take the integral from 0 to plus infinity of all the outcomes that your variable can take, multiplied with the PDF of the variable evaluated in these outcomes, T. So this is a very general definition. In the next step, I'm going to replace my PDF with my survival function, TPX, multiplied with my force of mortality, the mu x plus T. And I know from the previous shade that I can rewrite this product, TPX mu x plus T, as minus the derivative of my survival function. Yeah? So what I obtain here is an expression on which I can apply integration by parts. And doing so leaves me with the following expression. So what I now want to do is I want to evaluate this T multiplied with TPX in 0, but also in plus infinity. If I evaluate this guy in 0, that's easy, that's going to be 0, right? If I evaluate this expression in plus infinity, what I then know from one of the assumptions I made earlier on is that that expression will drop to 0. So that's one of the assumptions I made in order to be able to get a finite value for my expected future lifetime. So what I'm left with is the integral from 0 to plus infinity of my survival function. So that's one way to calculate in continuous time the future expected lifetime of an individual who is now age X. What I need to do is I need to take the integral, either explicitly, analytically, or either numerically, of my survival function, my TPX. If I want to do something similar for the second moment, you get exactly the same type of calculation. So I leave this for you. And having access to the first and the second moment allows me then to say something about the variability of my future lifetime random variable Tx.